Mr. Udemezue, we know that all the wranglings that we're seeing now is in preparation for the 2019 election, but then the budget for the elections is part of the supplementary appropriation. Will this not affect preparations again for this election? And the president has said that the sum of 54 billion naira will be required for the elections. What's your take?
It is sad that these issues are coming at this point. This budget has suffered, untold hardship in the hands of both the executive and National Assembly, of this country. This budget that's meant to be a plan for the whole year 2018 was just approved barely a month ago. We should be ashamed of ourselves for this delay. And now we have had this delay, and then to begin the appropriation, we are still having issues. It is sad. I just saw in your news where government is making a claim that 140 billion is being released, for social program. And I'm asking myself, the most important releases we'll be having in this budget this early, should it be for a social program that we don't even know who is getting what? The INEC has made their own case about the funding they require for the election. And I wonder, this plan for the election had commenced almost 2 years ago. Are we saying that the government had not been making plans over the quarters from last year to now? Because INEC's election plan is not a bullet plan. It's a stage-by-stage plan, registration, printing of materials, preparing, mobilizing resources, whether they are security dogs or personnel and all of that. And I believe that this process ought to have started, before now. So to say that inability of government, of the executive to release a quantum fund, 240-something billion, is the reason why the election may suffer issues or may not even hold, or whatever the threats they have made. It's quite unfair.
Okay.
It's quite unreasonable on this nation.
Now,
while I agree with the executive government that INEC has to be funded, but how come that the funding requirement is becoming so sudden and seemingly emergency? In any case, I still pray the National Assembly to sit down with the executive and work out these issues. Under no circumstance will we accept a situation where this election is shifted or whatever flimsy excuses. They must sit down and work this out. Unfortunately, again, the National Assembly is not in the mood of discussing business.
The Senate is on recess. We don't know whether they will truly stay on this recess till September, or whether they are going to cut up time down to face real issues. Now, whatever game they're playing now is about the gale of defections and the political wrangling and positioning that's going on right now. No attention is being focused on the economy. A number of
bills are still waiting to be approved. The PIGB, Petroleum Industry Governance Bill, is still suffering in the hands of the Executive and National Assembly. We have a number of acts, that are bills that are meant to be amended for the good governance of this country. These issues, unfortunately, may not receive good attention in the next few months. And once we get to November, December, election is at hand. So I see the 2018 budget suffering heavy neglect, quite unfortunately. But however, I'm hopeful that somehow, with the World Bank saying they want to support Nigerian economic growth outlook, and with other pressures coming from other quarters, I hope that these leaders of this nation will, for a moment, remember that despite their political disagreements, that this nation is at a very crucial point in its economic journey, and therefore will require them to sit down together and work things out amicably, and maturely as men who, as they claim, are political leaders. This is my hope.
Mr. Udemezue, what is your advice to investors, and how should they probably manage some of these risks that you have mentioned?
No investor likes to romance with risk. Yet, investments always come with risk. But once there is a tendency to expect a high political risk, high social risk, high crime, high security risk, investors tend to stay aloof and watch things. As I had mentioned earlier, as we approach 2019 February for the election, chances are that the stock market activities might begin to go into a lull. Chances are that foreign exchanges will begin to find their ways outside the country.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Udemezue. Well, that's it on the program for today. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Chimezie Obi Iwago.